Well, welcome everybody to the Langley City Public Hearing Meeting for Monday, July 20th, 2020, 7 p.m. So I'd like to call the July 20th, 2020 public hearing to order and begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the traditional unceded territory of the Katzie, Kwantlen, and Masqui and Semiahmoo First Nations. I'm going to do some instructions. I'm Mayor Val Vandenbroek, and with me tonight on Zoom, we have Councillor Rudy Storteboom, Councillor Rosemary Wallace, Councillor Gail Martin, Councillor Terry James, Councillor Nathan Bahal, Councillor Paul Albrecht. And for staff, we have Darren Lake here, our Director of Corporate Services, Paula Cusack, our Deputy Corporate Officer, Francis Chung, our Chief Administrative Officer, Carl Johansson, our Director of Development Services, Rick Baumhoff, our Director of Engineering, Parks and Environment, and Kim Hilton, our Director of Recreation, Culture, and Community Services. And we also have Deborah Joyelle here tonight taking minutes for us. Okay, so call to order. This public meeting is being convened pursuant to Section 464 of the Local Government Act in order to consider bylaw number 3130, zoning amendment bylaw. Purpose is to amend the zoning bylaw 1996 number 2100 to update and add new commercial use definitions and separation distances between certain commercial uses. So I'd like to thank everyone in advance for their patience and understanding as we navigate this new electronic public hearing process. If we encounter technical challenges during this meeting, please stand by, as we want to ensure everyone who wishes to speak is afforded the opportunity to do so. This public hearing is being live streamed on the city's YouTube channel and is also being recorded and will be posted on the city's website. If you are watching and you wish to attend this electronic meeting, you can go right now to www.langleycity.ca to register and join the meeting. At this public hearing, those in attendance at this electronic meeting who believe that their interest in property is affected by the proposed bylaw will be allowed to make representations to council and shall be given a reasonable opportunity to be heard respecting matters contained in the bylaw. Once in the meeting, you may use the raise hand function to indicate your wish to speak, which will automatically put you in the speaker queue. You will be invited to speak in the order in which the hands are raised. When it is your turn to speak, staff will prompt you a message asking you to unmute your microphone, and you may begin speaking. Please commence your comments to council by clearly stating your name and street address. Unit numbers are not required. Then you may give us the benefit of your views concerning the bylaw. Your name, address, and comments will form part of the record of this public hearing. Members of council may, if they wish, ask questions of you following your presentation. However, the main function of council members this evening is to listen to the views of the public. It is not the function of the council at this public hearing to debate the merits of the proposed bylaw with individual citizens. Once you have completed your comments, staff will mute your microphone. Everyone shall be given a reasonable opportunity to be heard at this meeting. No one will be or should feel discouraged or prevented from making their views heard. I'm asking that you keep your comments to no more than 5 minutes to allow everyone who wishes to speak an opportunity to do so. Once everyone who wishes to speak has done so, I will call for speakers for a second time, at which time those who wish to speak again should indicate so by using the raised hand function. I will then call for speakers for a third and final time. If there are no speakers, I will ask for a motion to close the public hearing. The public was also given the opportunity to provide written submissions for this public hearing. All submissions will be retained by the Deputy Corporate Officer, and copies of the submissions will be available from her on request following the hearing and shall form part of the public record of these proceedings. Ms. Cusack, can you please advise how notification was provided for this public hearing and whether we have received any correspondence?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. A notice was posted at the entrance to City Hall on July 7th, and 2 ads were run in the Langley Advance Times on July 9th and 16th. 3 pieces of correspondence were received.
Great, thank you. All right, so the business at hand is bylaw 3130, bylaw to amend the zoning bylaw to update and add new commercial use definitions and separation distances between certain commercial uses. I invite Mr. Johansson, our Director of Development Services, to present the proposed bylaw.
Thank you and good evening, Mayor and Council. This zoning bylaw update proposes to add new and updated commercial use definitions, including body rub service, body art and tattoo service, and vapor product store, and replace and update the definition for personal service, and also add 400-meter separation distances between tattoo and vapor product or vape store businesses on C1 zone properties in the city. Those are basically located in the downtown commercial area of the city. This is intended to be an interim update to the zoning bylaw, as further updates to this bylaw will be brought forward to council in early 2021 as part of a broader comprehensive zoning bylaw update following the completion of the city's new official community plan. So this interim zoning bylaw update that we're talking about tonight responds to a request from the Downtown Langley Business Association to consider further regulation of tattoo and spa businesses, not because the association is opposed to these uses, but in the interest of achieving a balanced retail, restaurant, and service business environment. This is also intended to foster business variety in the downtown core and maintain a good balance between specialty retail, restaurants, and personal service uses, by way of creating a more dispersed pattern of personal services and other uses such as tattoo and vape businesses, vape store businesses over time. This supports the vision of the downtown master plan to focus retail and restaurants in the downtown and supports the continued presence of pedestrian-friendly storefronts. These updates will also help staff to better respond to an evolving personal service and spa industry. It'll provide staff a more effective tool when evaluating new business license applications for spas, for example, to ensure they comply with the city's zoning regulations. And it also creates clear definitions to guide a future update to the city's business license bylaw. This is also a key first step towards considering new definitions for personal services such as beauty salons and associated location regulations as part of the broader zoning bylaw update that I mentioned earlier. If this proposed amendment is adopted by council, it will require new tattoo and vape store businesses to be located 400 meters from other tattoo and vape store businesses, but it will not impact existing operating tattoo and vape store businesses. They will still be able to operate without impacts. This bylaw also would not preclude new tattoo and vape businesses from opening in the city. It would only direct these uses to more widely dispersed locations. In summary, bylaw 3130 aims to support business variety and the downtown vision, won't impact existing businesses, and may also provide an additional measure of stability for existing businesses. It's also important to note that if this bylaw is adopted by council, future amendments to the zoning bylaw could be considered by council on a case-by-case basis, for example, to relax a separation distance if an existing business that is named in the bylaw is seeking to move to another location in the city that may be within 400 meters of another tattoo or vape business. That's part of council's land use decision-making authority, and applications can be brought forward to council at any time. Lastly, as I noted previously, or as the clerk noted, the notification for this public hearing was carried out through newspaper and city website. Although it was not required by the bylaw or not required by Local Government Act, we also sent courtesy letters directly to the business owners of tattoo and vape product stores to let them know about the bylaw update. We received feedback from 2 of the 12 businesses that were sent letters, and these letters did not indicate a broad opposition per se, and one letter did outline concerns about the ability of existing businesses to be able to move locations within the city. Thanks for the opportunity to present this bylaw.
Great, thank you, Mr. Johansson. Ms. Kuzak, can you please advise if there's anyone in attendance at this meeting who wishes to speak to this bylaw 3130?
We do have one attendee. He has not indicated that he would like to speak, so at this time I would say no.
Okay. All right, for the second time, Ms. Kuzak, is there anyone else in attendance who wishes to speak to bylaw 3130?
Yes, we have someone that would like to speak. Mr. Pryor, if you can unmute yourself, then council will be able to hear you.
Hi, council. Oh, I don't know if I'm on or not, but
You are.
okay, great. Thank you. Sorry.
No problem.
I just wanted to.
Mike, sorry to stop you before you do.
That's okay. I'm new to this.
That's okay. No, it's all good. I just need you to state your name and the street you live on for the record. That's all.
Certainly, yeah. My name is Michael Pryor. I reside on at 5759 Glover Road in Langley City.
Thank you.
I only wanted to I'm one of the people that submitted my input in writing ahead of time, so I don't want to really hash over all that stuff. I don't think it's redundant, but I would like to just maybe quickly comment on the gentleman speaker that was outlining the bylaw had mentioned that later on potentially that a existing business could apply to have that 400-meter restriction lifted if, on a case-by-case basis, as an owner of one of the businesses that would be affected by this bylaw. And also, the business that I'm in, I'm not asking anyone to play favorites, of course, but, we were here first. And all of the businesses that are within 400 meters or all around me, that would put me in a position where I would have to apply to be able to move 2 doors down, which is, I'm only coming up with this because I've actually something I've considered. There was a vacancy 2 doors down that was a little bit bigger and it was a little bit updated, and I did consider moving there just last year. So it's a very real consideration of mine to be like, I'd have to apply for that movement, which an application is great, but it also is potentially rejected. And I just really have a hard time with that, being that I've been in the city. I've been working in this place for over 20 years. And, all those other businesses that would impede that or potentially impede that ability to move, to grow, were just allowed freely to come into that space. I guess that's the only real comment. The application for being allowed to move, I don't think is fair for a business that's been there for that long, whose position has been it's being forced on me, and I know some of the other businesses would probably agree. I mean, I don't know why they're not present, but I guess that's it. I just wanted to make comment to that. I'm probably a better writer. I'm a little bit nervous talking.
You did great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Pratt. You did fantastic. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
That's all I really wanted to add to what I've already written anyway. So thank you for your minute. Great.
Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so Ms. Kuzak, I'm going to call for the third and last and final time. Is there anyone, for anyone who wishes to speak to this current bylaw 3130?
There are no other speakers, Madam Mayor.
Okay, so seeing no more speakers, do any members of council have any questions? I don't see, am I missing anybody? I don't see any hands up. So I'm going to need a motion to close the public hearing. I need a mover and a seconder to close the public hearing. Councillor Pahal, another hand. Councillor Albrecht, all those in favor? Carries. Great, thank you very much. Have a great evening.